ojas. And liver produces rakta ojas, hemopoietic system. Liver governs hemopoietic system. There are two majja, rakta majja and pita majja, yellow majja. Yellow majja does purana function, it just fills the bone space. But rakta majja in the ribs, in the iliac crest, as well as in the head of the humerus, head of the femur, there is a special majja called rakta majja that does erythrogenetic function, hemopoietic function. This hemopoiesis is rakta nirmiti, and this is very interesting picture, this is very interesting thought to understand that in rakta dhatu, upadhatu are kandara and sira. Mala is poshaka pitta, which is created in the liver, and you will surprise, to give color is ranjak pitta, and ranjak pitta stays in the liver. So there are special enzyme, erythrogenetic enzyme, they are created in the liver. Therefore, liver is a storehouse of ranjak pitta, and ranjak pitta gives color to the rasa into red, which is hemoglobin. So hemoglobin, heme part is ranjak pitta, and that ranjak pitta gives color to the rasa dhatu, color to the rakta dhatu. Color of rasa dhatu is ishit pita, pale yellow, but color of rakta dhatu is rakta. Rakta means red. So rakta dhatu is the second important tissue in the Ayurvedic system of medicine. It takes 10 days for nourishment of the rakta dhatu. Then rakta dhatu agni create next immature dhatu, which is called asthayi mamsa. Asthayi mamsa comes to the mamsa dhatu agni, and mamsa dhatu agni processes asthayi mamsa into sthayi mamsa, because myoblasts are multinucleated cells, and they are nourished and they are mature within 15 days. So 15 days are required for a mature myoblast to become mature. Blast means cell. So within 15 days your mamsa dhatu is nourished by ahara rasa. And each dhatu has upadhatu. Upadhatu of mamsa, mamsad, vasaha, tvachaha, shakcha. Vasa is subcutaneous fat. It is a product of mamsa dhatu. Mamsad, vasaha, tvachaha, shakcha. 6 layers of skin. Avabhasini, lohita, shveta, tamra, vedini. All these 6 layers of skin. The topmost layer is the rasa dhatu. Topmost layer of the skin is rasa dhatu. Remaining 6 layers of the skin are the byproduct of mamsa dhatu. That is why when you do skin massage, it directly goes to the mamsa dhatu. If your muscle is painful, just apply oil to the skin and do pratilom. Pratilom means in opposite direction of the hair follicle. If you do in a pratilom massage with Mahanarayanam Tailam, Dhanvantara Tailam, it penetrates into the mamsa dhatu and it kindles mamsa dhatu agni, and it will definitely help to take care of the pain in the mamsa dhatu, muscular pain. So this is very important, mamsa dhatu. Mala of mamsa is kamala. Kamala means earwax, smegma. If you look at your belly button, within couple of days you get cotton in the belly button. That cotton in the belly button is kamala. Earwax is kamala. Nasal crust is kamala. Dental tartar is kamala. And smegma is a white discharge over the prepuce, over the glans penis, is the product of kamala. If mamsa dhatu agni is low, people develop more earwax, more smegma. Then you have to treat mamsa dhatu agni by using Triphala Guglu. Amazing! Mamsa dhatu agni, even Arsha, is happening to the musculature of blood vessel. And even to treat arsha, hemorrhoid, use Triphala Guglu. Hemorrhoid happened because of low mamsa dhatu agni. Fissure, fistula, hemorrhoid, arsha, parikartika. They are all the product related to the mamsa dhatu, but they are connected to the blood vessel. But muscular layer of the blood vessel create protuberance. Mamsa dhatu is skeletal muscle, striated muscle, smooth muscle. And any muscular layer is a mamsa dhatu. Bronchomuscular layer, mamsa dhatu. Vasovascular muscular layer is mamsa dhatu. And when therefore arsha is related to the mamsa dhatu agni dushti. And you have to kindle mamsa dhatu agni. If you daily take Triphala Guglu or Kankayana Guti and daily take Gandharva Haritaki, you will never get hemorrhoids because you are treating mamsa dhatu agni. This is Agni Chikitsa. So, rasa. Rasastanyam tato ratam srujaha kandaraha siraha mamsad vasaha tvachaha sharcha medasam snayu sambhavaha. So, mamsa dhatu agni create next important unprocessed dhatu is called asthai mamsa, asthai meda. Asthai meda comes to the meda dhatu agni. And meda dhatu agni processes asthai meda into sthai meda. It takes 20 days. 20 days for the production of sthai meda. If meda dhatu agni is low, there is undue production of meda dhatu. People become medasvi, obese. High cholesterol, meda dhatu agni low. High triglyceride, meda dhatu agni is low. Lipoma, meda dhatu agni is low. So all these disorders are related to the meda dhatu agni, and meda dhatu agni processes asthai meda into sthai meda, and upadhatu of meda is snayu, the fascia. And mala of meda is sweda. Mala of meda is sweda. That's why medasvi people sweat. Eating, sitting and sweating go together. Eating, sitting and sweating. Meda dhatu agni is responsible for creation of asthai into sthai meda, and next upadhatu, which is asthai mamsa, and mala of meda is swed, and upadhatu of meda is important, that medasam snayu sambhava. Snayu means fascia. Then when Vyana brings asthai asti dhatu pretty close to the asti vahasrotat asti dhara kala asti dhatu agni, then asti dhatu agni processes asthai asti into sthai asti within 25 days. Within 25 days, unprocessed asti become processed. And this asti dhatu is nourished by asti dhatu agni by using asthai asti into sthai asti. In this processing, very important, asti dhatu create upadhatu danta, and mala of asti is nakha and kesha. Nakha, the nail, and kesha, the hair. So just by studying the nail and studying the hair, you understand the asti dhatu. And in America they do hair analysis and nail analysis, and they found that there are mercury toxicity, copper toxicity, heavy metal toxicity, because that toxic heavy metal, they are thrown out of the body in the form of nail and hair, because nail and hair is a mala of asti dhatu. Am I making sense? This is very important. If you have hairline fracture, And if you are treating the fracture by giving Praval, Panchamrut, Shanka, Shauktik, Mauktik, Kapardik and Yogaraj Gulu, wait for 25 days to heal that hairline fracture. That much period is required. So 25 days are necessary for processing unprocessed Asti into processed Asti via media of Asti Dhatu Agni. And Asti Dhatu Agni create next Dhatu, Upadhatu, which is called Asthai Majja. When Asthai Majja come to the Majja Dhatu Agni, it takes 30 days to process Asthai Majja into Sthai Majja. And you will see, in this every nutrition there is Upadhatu and Mala. So what is Upadhatu of Majja? What is the Upadhatu of Majja? Akshi Vita Sneha. Akshi Vita Sneha. Now, Sneha means oily secretion along the eyes. And Vit means Purish, oily covering over the fecal matter, is Mala of Majja. And it is the Upadhatu of Majja, and Majja Mala is also related to the lacrimation, tears. So, you will see Akshivita Sneha is related to the Majja Dhatu, and any Majja Dhatu disorder takes 30 days to heal, neurological problem. Then Majja Dhatu can produce next important Asthai Dhatu, Asthai Shukra. This Shukra in the man and Asthai Artava in the woman. So within 30 days, woman's ovulatory cycle is controlled by Majja Dhatu Agni, which is hormone, and Shukra Dhatu Agni in the man, and Artava Dhatu Agni in the woman in the ovary. Now, it takes 35 days for a mature sperm to become mature. A mature sperm to become mature. In this process, Shukra has no Mala. This is very important. Shukra has no Mala. But one thing is very important, Shukra and Artava, they are responsible for development of secondary sexual characteristics. When young girls start menstruating, slowly she develops her breast, pubic hair, axillary hair. So pubic hair, axillary hair, they are special hair, they are related to the Shukra and Artava. You follow? Shukra and Artava, the maturation of Shukra and Artava is responsible for development of pubic hair, both in man, both in girl and the boy, and axillary hair. And it's very interesting, when a woman goes into the menopause, she starts losing her pubic hair and axillary hair. So there is a deep connection of secondary sexual characteristic. It depends upon Majja Dhatu Agni and Shukra Dhatu Agni. The Agni component is a hormone. Majja Dhatu Agni is the hormone, luteinizing hormone, follicle stimulating hormone. They are necessary to stimulate ovary to create ovulation, and ovary produces female hormone, estrogen. Testicle produces male hormone, testosterone. But liver plays very important role. It is the liver which processes estradiol into estrogen. This processing of estradiol into the estrogen is governed by Bhutagni in the liver. I have written wonderful chapters on Bhutagni. If you have time and if you get chance to order this book, I'm not doing propaganda. I'm not doing advertisement. I'm humbly, with a great love and respect, sharing with you, get an access to those books, because you cannot get this knowledge in any other books. Because it needs parallel study. Whatever I have studied, Ayurveda and Allopath last 40 years, out of that study, this knowledge came. That's why I am teaching you Ayurveda parallel to the allopathic science. Don't hate allopathy, it is a great science. Don't hate Ayurveda, it is a wonderful science. Both science should go concurrently and inherently, hand in hand. If you have acute heart attack, you have to go to the emergency. There are certain wonderful drugs in Ayurveda, Hemagarbha, Lakshmi Vilas, they are very important during acute heart attack and stroke paralysis. So, Ayurveda is not a rigid science. And even Charak says, Ekam Shastram Vidiyano na Vidyat Shastra Nishya Tasmat Bahusrutaha Shat Chikitsaka. Chikitsak means physician. He should be Bahusruta. He should study other parallel sciences. And he should understand. So, when medical doctors read your book, they will appreciate, oh, this makes sense. If you just talk pure Ayurveda, who will understand? Only you and me. They will not understand. So science should be distributed. Science should be explored. It should not be stuck with limited group. Anybody can come and study Ayurveda. Medical doctor, chiropractor, allopathic doctor, acupuncturist doctor. Because Ayurveda has a great philosophy, Ayurveda has a great knowledge, and Ayurveda has a great clinical skill. Don't keep Ayurveda in the cupboard. Open the doors. Let Ayurveda flow. Let Ayurveda be studied. You can teach Ayurveda to the modern medical doctor. And exactly I am doing in America, in England, in Germany. They appreciate Ayurveda because it makes sense to them. You follow? Therefore, side by side, start reading modern physiology and compare that modern physiology with Ayurvedic physiology. Learn modern pathology and compare modern pathology with Ayurvedic pathology. You can speak their language, you can communicate to them that what we are doing is not hodgepodge. It is a science. You follow? There is a gap, and that gap has to be bridged. And that exactly speaker is doing. Speaker spend much time in studying, reading pathology, anatomy, modern anatomy, Ayurvedic anatomy, modern physiology, Ayurvedic physiology, modern pathology, Ayurvedic samprapti pathology, modern psychology, Ayurvedic psychology. All modern diseases, they can be treated very well with Ayurvedic protocol. Because you should know what is happening samprapti-wise, pathology-wise. So, rasad raktam tato mamsam, mamsad medo tato asti, asti majja tata shukram, shukradojam prajayate. Now what is Oj? Ojas is the pure essence of Shukra in man and Artava in the woman. Shukra, Shukulam, white. Artavam, Raktam. Artava is red color. Shukra is white color. So because of white color of Shukra and red color of Artava together, Ojas become pink. And whenever you have good Ojas, you have nice pink face. Ishat Pitam Shvetam Ojam. Ojam Snigdam. Oja is oily. It smells like a ghee, Ghrutagandhi. It smells like paddy, which is called Laja Gandhi. Laj means a special kind of rice. When you cook, it has a nice smell. Nice smell. So Ojas has that smell of rice paddy. It tastes sweet like a honey, and it smells like a ghee. It is snigdham. So Ojas is there at the level of Pilupak and Pitarapak. How many students know the Pilupak and Pitarapak? I am not testing you. Yeah, come on. So what Pilupak means? Both Pilupak and Pitarapak. Huh? Oh, please come here, Jayashree ji. Come. She is a very loving person. Come here, Jayashree. You know, we should, this is called Tadvidya Sambhasha. Huh? Seminar, Tadvidya Sambhasha. All wise people coming there, sharing there. That why you will enhance the horizon of your knowledge and your experience. Have a seat. No, please. Give her a big hand. She has come here. So what is Pilupak and Pitarapak?
What I learned from you at your feet is that the Pilupak is the post-digestive assimilation, and the Pitarapak is the assimilation into the atomic level, giving interface with the consciousness.
Correct. This is amazing. Beautiful. Thank you. Oh, there is no need. This is hard. It will create hemorrhoid. So cell membrane itself is a srotas. Ati anu srotas. Charak says there is sukshmam adrusyam ati anu srotasam, means he is talking about cell membrane. Huh? That's what I am talking. Just listen. So cell membrane, I can use the board. This is one cell, this is another cell, and this is third cell. Cell has nucleus. So Pilu and cell has permeability. Pilu. Pilu is another name for atom. Right? In Vaisheshika's philosophy, Vaisheshika, who is the founder of Vaisheshika's philosophy? Kanad. Kanad was a great scientist. He was highly enlightened. He sat in his room and the roof has a hole. Through the hole of the roof, the light came in. And he looked into the suspended particles of light. He concentrated, he meditated upon that one particle. And he say, oh, it is Pilavaha, Pilavaha. Pilu means atom. Anu, Renu, Tras Renu. Anu is atom, Renu is electron. That's why Renuka Mata means creative mother, electron. Renuka is electron. And Shivalingam itself is the atomic structure. Shivalingam itself is the atomic structure. The lingam is the nucleus. And Shakti moves around the Shiva, which is Renuka. Correct? So, Kanad, highly enlightened master, he is the founder of Vaisheshika's philosophy, Khadini Atma Manakkalo Dishacha Dravya Sangraha. This whole universe is made up of 9 causative substances. Khadini, Kha Adi, ether, air, fire, water, earth. Khadini Atma, the soul. Mana, mind, Kal. And Disha, dig, direction.